if you give me the data or the reasoning behind it and it makes sense. But if your entire argument collapses into, no, this is such a great, I don't need to do that, or we need to get this, or it's too late. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pass. Thank you. I wish you the best of luck.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Andrew, the millionaires that we interview, the tech millionaires that we interview in this podcast, most of them, they are marketing and sales. They are not even tech entrepreneurs. And those ones that they're software developers, they come to a podcast and they spend the whole podcast talking about sales and marketing. I said, guys, I thought you were. Meaning is, go to 0 to million, go to pro market fit. It's a marketing exercise. It's a sales and exercise.
Yeah.
You need to go out there and tell people what you have in kind of a prototype and see if they want it.
That's why we say ideas are cheap, execution is king. And a lot of the execution at that stage is sales and marketing. For some startups, it's like really new to the world tech, it's tough. Then actual product development matters. But for a lot of the things, you see an opportunity, there's a why now. You can get people to build it. It's hard, but you can get them. That stuff's kind of an even level playing field. What really separates a team is the ability to get those initial first customers, and then to build on that. Because so many of these things, like once you start to succeed, success builds on success. It could be a marketplace where it actually does, or it could be economies of scale. But even if it's just you getting there first and being better known, which means you're more likely to get the VC money, which means you're more likely to get bigger, getting that early lead among 5 or 6 other startups that kind of have the same idea around the same time, that's the difference. So that's why you see a lot of the experienced founders get on there and talk about sales and marketing. And that's why you heard me talk about customer discovery, because that comes even before. But yeah, you're spot on with that. And there's another one other point. I was the founder of Waze. I could be wrong. He has a book. It's got a great title. It's called well, maybe it's not him. I think it's his. Fall in love with the problem, not the solution.
Oh, wow. That's powerful.
If you're so stuck
That's
on your
powerful.
solution,
I love it.
You're going to be, it's not mine. I give him credit. You're going to be wedded to your idea. When people are telling you it's not working, you're going to be stuck in it. But if you're in love with the problem, and this is just one way to solve it, and you're starting to get pushback, and then someone else is like, well, why don't you do this? You're like, no problem. I can solve the problem that way. It makes you more willing, more excited, more eager to change tack if solution draft number one isn't the right way to go. So yeah, the solution is something should flow from the problem.
So Andrew, what do you think? What do you expecting to see in a tech and in the stage? What is the common practice that stage investor takes, right? 20%, 10% of the company. How is this process in order that they go, that tech entrepreneur go to this path sustainable and don't end up with very little percentage of the company that actually it will lose all the interest to the tech founder actually to develop in the first place. On the other hand, with this without sell investor, it's gonna be sometimes it's gonna be tough because sometimes you need the early investor to make a phone call and to put you in the right track. Imagine a train, that early investor put the train in the right track, and then it's easy to push the train. But when the train is not in the right track, it's difficult.
Yeah. So, what you're talking about is the down cap table, right? If you raise, if you take too much money, or if you give away too much of the company, meaning that you have a low valuation for the money, you end up at a point where you just don't have enough of the company for it to really be worth your while. And some VCs won't invest anymore because like, well, you don't have enough skin in the game. You're going to leave. Most of what I'm investing in is the team. So sorry, I can't do it. Your cap table is upside down. Now, there are no hard and fast rules in venture, but there are rules of thumb. So early round, like your seed round, your Series A round, expect to give away about 20 to 25% of the company. I don't, there's no real logic behind it other than that's
Well, it's a
kind of,
huge risk for the investor. That's the
well, that's
logic.
it. So it's kind of what the investor needs for it to make them enough money to pay off their investors.
Mhm.
Right. From my perspective, if a third of my portfolio goes to zero within 2 years, I'm doing pretty well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Like if I still have two-thirds of them going, and if one-third of them are doing 10Xers, and if I have one of them that's 100X, like I got a pretty good fund. Now, if you work backwards from, the math, for me to get a good exit, for me to generate like 40%, 35% IRR, remember, it's a lot of risk here. It's tied up for a long time. I need a good return for me to generate that. And if, a third of my portfolios are going to be stars, a third are going to be dead, and the middle third are going to kind of go sideways, maybe get me 2 times my money back in 10 years, which is not a win for me. I need to have a certain percentage of the company. So,
Mm.
it kind of works that way. It almost works backwards from what the VCs need in order for them to make money for their investors. But it's kind of a good rule of thumb. Once you get to the series B, C, D, like it breaks down, it's all kind of negotiation. And with the kind of friends and family stuff that you get on, the main thing is take
Mm.
as little as you need at that point. And hopefully those are like a price, those are like a safe or a convertible note, and they kind of end up converting like the seed round.
Andrew,
But
what are
yeah,
the chances of entrepreneurs get investment from an early stage if they haven't sold anything yet or they sold maximum $50,000?
uh,
What are the
it
chances?
depends on the industry and it depends on the team and it depends on a lot of things.
If they have
Uh,
sold zero?
yeah, VCs say it depends a lot. Let me broaden it. We're looking for traction of some sort. The
Mm-hmm.
best kind of traction is revenue from the pricing model that you intend to use. Like revenue, if like, oh, we charge for services, but later we're going to change it to subscription, that revenue doesn't count at all because that's not what you're building. It doesn't matter to me. So that's what I mean
Mm.
by revenue with the pricing model and the pricing that you
Actual, do
want.
you have? Mhm.
Yeah. So then because the reason is that proves that A, you're solving a painful enough problem for people to pay for. B,
They're
the
willing
price
to pay. Mm.
Yeah, the price is okay, right? It's probably suboptimal. We could probably charge more, but at least you know that the market will accept this. And B, we know you can sell. You may not be great at selling, but you're good enough, right? So that's
Mm.
why revenue is so awesome, especially if it's like subscription revenue and that kind of stuff. Now, but that's not the only
If
way to
there is
show.
no revenue,
So let's talk about that. So in some cases, and you don't see this as much these days, but like, oh, we're going to get big and then we're going to monetize based on
or we need
data
the money
sales.
just to go out and sell it, the product is amazing. We just need the money to go out and
Fail.
sell it.
Fail. I'll tell you why you fail. Because I'll bet you can. Why do you need my money to sell? What do you need? You need time? Go out there, talk to people. What do you actually need to sell? Why need to hire salespeople? You're a salesperson. How many have you sold?
Mm.
If you can't sell it, no one else is going to sell it for you. Right
And the
now,
money is not going to solve this problem.
no, you're going to hire somebody and you tell them how to sell your product that you can't sell. You need to figure out how you can make a sale before you can teach someone else. You need to
Mm.
know how you make a sale before you know if you're hiring the right people.
You need to know how to sell yourself first. Otherwise, how are
Exactly.
you going to hide the people?
Yeah. So,
Mm.
until you've made some sales, you don't know how to build a team to do it as well or better than you. So that's a fail. Now, where there are exceptions, occasionally you've got things that are brand new technologies. You can't do anything until you build more. In this case, legitimately, the MVP requires a good chunk of money. It's like that with
Mm-hmm.
AI. With
Mm-hmm.
AI, they needed a chunk of money to build their models, get the data sets together to pay for the processing power. Like legitimately, you couldn't just get that off the shelf the way you could do other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Those cases of VC will fund it on the idea, but then what they're looking for are other things. They're looking very deeply into the team. It's got to be a why now that's immediate. Like I'm not going to pour a ton of money into you building something that someone's already done 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's really compelling. It has to be like they've done it there. It's not applicable to what I want to do. No one's doing it where I'm doing it. Or I have
Mm.
to show you like mine is 10 times better. I can leapfrog that and I have to believe that. But that's
Mm.
hard. That's an argument to make with VCs. And those stage investors, the pre-revenue, I need this money for product development, are super rare. And they're almost always linked to brand new emerging technologies. If you are doing
And
something that
also the amount of funds, Andrew, would be like limited. They can give you, I don't know, 150,000,
Yeah,
250,000.
sometimes you
Don't
need.
you hear startups there? No, I'm looking for 2 million. You're looking for 2
No,
million.
no, no, no. Like, you guys are looking for 10 million to
You
get
haven't
out of
sold
the.
zero, and then you're looking
These
for
guys
2
are like $10
million.
million seeds because they need to build something new. If it were $100,000, you could get it from friends and family.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that Andrew, this conversation has been really powerful, and for our audience, I know that people in the tech space listen to this podcast, and it's good to be honest, and
Mhm.
it's good to tell the truth, right? And this is how the industry is. The the thing that you see there, if you don't align and you think, well, Harry, look, is laughing. He doesn't know how hard it is. Well, no, I know how hard it is, right?
Mhm.
But as a tech founder, you have to know that what Andrew's sharing with us today is how things work. If you want to send 3,000 cold emails and no one answer and get zero answer, go out and do it. You can save your time by listening what we're discussing today, right? And no, these guys might. That's the other thing I'm that here a lot. No, Harry, the problem is you don't understand. My business is different. My product is different.
No, you're not a special
I'm
snowflake.
solving, I don't need to sell anything or I don't need to prove anything to a market. My solution is unbelievable. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, it's the most difficult thing is a pre-revenue kind of investment, right, Andrew?
I mean, should be able to tell what they're doing in 20 to 30 seconds, the elevator pitch, at least enough so I know what you're doing, if you have any traction or what kind of traction you have, and what you're asking for. If you've
Mm,
done your elevator pitch right, I can tell you right away whether or not you're ready to raise money or not. So if you're like, I need $2 million to hire a sales team to do this enterprise sales of this vertical solution in like, marketing tech, and I've got zero traction right now, it's a total fail. Like, nope, you're not ready. And I can just tell you that, and I'll tell you very straight, it's what we talked about before. You haven't exhausted all the things you can do without my money first, right? You haven't shown me that you know how to hustle and you know how to do it, and your competitors can. And you're like, oh, my
there you
idea is
go.
better, it's different. I say, Harry, how many startups have you talking to? I'll talk to. Not to be a dick about this, but talk to 10, 20, 30 startups. I've talked to 10,000. When I tell you yours is not special, I've got the statistics behind me, right? I know what I'm talking about because I've seen so many and I've seen far more complicated startups than you get it down to a 30-second pitch. I've seen far more complicated startups than you get further than you have based on
Mhm,
what you have. Now, when I say this to a startup, I smile a little bit more and I say, listen, nothing would, nothing would make than you proving me wrong. But I don't see a why now here. There are lots of companies ahead of you in this one. Or I feel like you could do A, B, and C without asking for any money.
mhm,
So, and if you come back saying, no, I need this before, that's a fail. Like you can come back and explain to me, well, I actually can't because this is new technology that needs to be developed. It's a new pharmaceutical compound. I need $5,000 to go through, sorry, $5 million to go through. And I'm like, okay, you're right and I'm wrong. That is something you need to do first, right? Regulated industries, that kind of stuff.
mhm, mhm,
So I'm happy to, and I'm legitimately happy to say I'm wrong if you give me the data or the reasoning behind it and it makes sense. But if your entire argument collapses into, no, this is such a great, I don't need to do that, or I don't, we need to get this, or it's too late. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pass. Thank you. I wish you the best of luck.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.